The sky was not supposed to break like this. It began with a distant shimmer on the horizon and an unnatural glow that rippled across the atmosphere. Then came the silence, heavy and foreboding, as if the world itself was holding its breath. Moments later, the first colossal ships appeared, blotting out the sun, casting cold shadows over cities that had thrived for millennia. On the streets below, people stopped in their tracks, eyes lifted skyward in disbelief. The news feeds buzzed with frantic reports, but no one could fully grasp the scale of what was unfolding. The alien armada descended with terrifying precision, unleashing waves of destruction that leveled entire continents in minutes. In New York, Myra Chen's world shattered in an instant. The air trembled as the ground shook beneath her feet. Smoke and fire engulfed the skyline, and her family's home was lost in the chaos. Heart-pounding, she grabbed her brother's hand and ran toward the evacuation zone, dodging debris and panicked crowds. "This can't be real," Mira whispered, tears stinging her eyes. But reality was cruel and unforgiving. The alien forces moved swiftly, crushing any resistance with overwhelming firepower. Military outposts fell like dominoes, their weapons useless against energy shields and weapons humanity had never seen before. In orbit, space stations reported similar devastation. Satellites were disabled or destroyed, cutting off communications. Humanity's greatest technological achievements were rendered powerless in a hidden command bunker beneath the Rocky Mountains. General Marcus Hayes watched the chaos unfold on multiple screens. His face was grim, jaw clenched tight. "We underestimated them," he muttered. "This is more than an invasion. It's annihilation." As cities burned and governments collapsed, a select group of survivors gathered in secret. Scientists, soldiers, leaders. Those who had escaped the initial onslaught knew their world was gone. But their fight was not over. Among them was Jonas Reed, a former pilot whose family had been lost in the attack. His eyes burned with determination as he addressed the group. "We can't just run. We have to fight. We have to survive." Mira found herself among the refugees boarding the last evacuation ships. The stars stretched out before her cold and endless frontier. Earth was gone, but the spark of humanity's spirit still burned. As the fleet launched into the darkness, Myra looked back one last time, seeing the planet she had called home engulfed in flames. She vowed silently, they would return. They would reclaim every star that had been taken from them. In the cold void of space, hope became a weapon. The vast emptiness of space offered no comfort. The survivors drifted among scattered colonies and damaged stations, each a fragile thread holding humanity's legacy together. The fleet that once orbited Earth was now a ragged collection of ships. Battered but unbowed, Myra Chen stepped onto the bridge of the colony ship Liberty, her gaze fixed on the stars ahead. The faces around her were tired, some haunted by loss, others hardened by resolve. The journey was uncertain, but one truth bound them all. They could not let the alien invaders define humanity's fate. In a cramped war room aboard the Liberty, General Marcus Hayes coordinated with leaders from other survivor groups. Voices crackled over secure channels, sharing intelligence, resources, and plans. "We can't just hide," Hayes said firmly. "We need to strike back smart, targeted attacks to disrupt their supply lines and reclaim lost ground." Jonas Reed stood nearby, reviewing battle simulations. "Our numbers are small, and their technology is advanced," he warned. "But we have something they don't: ingenuity and the will to fight." Scientists had been working tirelessly to study captured alien tech from skirmishes and debris. Dr. Anil Desai, a leading researcher, explained their progress during a strategy session. "We've managed to reverse engineer some of their communication devices and shields," Anil said, pointing to a holographic display. "If we can integrate this tech with our ships, we could level the playing field. Myra listened intently. Her skills as a pilot and technician made her a valuable asset, and she volunteered to assist with testing modified fighters. Meanwhile, scattered resistance cells across the galaxy began coordinating raids against the alien empire's outposts. Small but fierce. These attacks sabotaged supply chains and freed prisoners. One such mission targeted a heavily guarded supply convoy near a mining colony on the edge of the Orion sector. Jonas led the strike team, maneuvering their fighters through a maze of asteroid debris to avoid detection. "Stay sharp," he commanded over the comms. "This is our chance to show them humanity won't be broken." The operation was a success. The convoy was destroyed, and critical supplies were diverted away from enemy forces. The victory was small in scale, but enormous in spirit. Proof that humanity could fight back. News of the raid spread quickly through survivor networks, igniting hope and inspiring others to join the resistance. For the first time since Earth's fall, the word victory was whispered in quiet corners of space. Back aboard the Liberty, Myra and Anil reviewed data from the raid. "We're learning," Anil said, eyes shining with cautious optimism. "Their technology has weaknesses. If we exploit them, we could turn the tide." But even as hope grew, the alien empire tightened its grip on occupied systems. Massive warships patrolled key sectors, and their intelligence agencies hunted resistance cells relentlessly. Tensions ran high. Trust was scarce, but humanity's resolve was unshakable. During a rare moment of quiet, Myra found herself looking out the viewport, stars glittering like distant promises. "We're more than survivors," she whispered. "We're the spark that will light the fire." General Hayes's voice came over the comms, firm and inspiring. "We fight not just to survive, but to reclaim our place in the stars. The resistance begins now, and with that, humanity's long and arduous journey to reclaim every star under alien control had truly begun." The galaxy seemed vast and cold, but within the sprawling network of star systems, pockets of humanity's resistance began to take shape. Each small victory became a beacon, sparking hope in a universe where despair had once ruled. Mira Chen sat in the cockpit of her newly retrofitted fighter, the Phoenix. It wasn't the fastest ship, nor the most powerful, but it was hers. The vessel hummed softly, alive with the blend of human engineering and alien tech. Today's mission would prove whether that fusion could turn the tide. The briefing had been clear. Intelligence pinpointed an alien communications relay hidden in the asteroid belt near the Perseus sector. Destroying it would sever a critical link in the invaders' command network. Jonas Reed led the strike team. His voice was steady, but charged with urgency as he addressed the pilots before launch. "This isn't just a mission. It's a statement. We fight with every ounce of courage and skill. Failure is not an option." As the squadron entered the dense asteroid field, tension crackled over the comm channels. The relay sat nestled within a cluster of tumbling rocks, shielded by automated drones. Mira's heart raced as she maneuvered Phoenix through narrow gaps. The alien drones detected their approach almost immediately, launching bursts of energy, and missiles engage evasive maneuvers. Jonas ordered. The fight was chaotic, a deadly ballet of speed and precision. Mira's hands moved instinctively, weaving through laser fire and dodging debris. Her training and grit kept her alive. At the relay, the team unleashed their payloads. Explosions rocked the field, sending shockwaves through the belt. The relay systems flared, then flickered out, severing communications across several sectors. "Relay down," Jonas confirmed breathlessly. "Return to base." But the victory was not without cost. Several fighters were damaged or lost, including Mira's wingmate, who did not make it back. The sacrifice weighed heavily on everyone. Back at the rebel base, the mood was somber but determined. General Hayes addressed the assembly. This victory shows what humanity can achieve. When we stand united, the Empire's confidence has been shaken, but they will retaliate. We must be ready. Dr. Anil Desai analyzed data recovered from the relay's remains. The alien network relies heavily on centralized communication hubs. More attacks, like this, could cripple their coordination. Mira, bruised but unbroken, felt a surge of pride mixed with resolve. We're not just fighting to survive anymore. We're fighting to win. Training intensified as new recruits arrived, eager to join the cause. Engineers worked around the clock, refining the hybrid technology that gave their fighters an edge. At the same time, the Empire sent reinforcements. Their warships scoured the sectors, hunting for resistant cells. The rebels had to move quickly and decisively. In a private moment, Jonas approached Mira. "You flew brilliantly out there. You've got the heart of a warrior." Myra smiled faintly. "We all do. That's why we'll win." The strike on the relay was the first of many. Each mission chipped away at the alien Empire's grip, sowing chaos within their ranks. But the road ahead was perilous. For every victory, the Resistance paid a price. Yet, humanity's spirit burned brighter than ever, fierce, unyielding, and ready to reclaim every star taken from them. The alien communications relay was more than just a network node, was a gateway to secrets humanity was only beginning to understand. As the Resistance poured over the recovered data, Dr. Anil Desai and his team made a discovery that could change everything. Inside the encrypted files was a detailed star chart of the Empire's territory, but more importantly, it marked locations of hidden facilities scattered across the galaxy. Some were research stations, others storage depots, and a few appeared to be weapon development sites. "What if we could strike at those?" Mira asked during a strategy meeting. "Cut off their resources before they can respond." Anil nodded. "Exactly. But there's something else." He tapped the holographic display, zooming into one particular facility orbiting a dead star in the Valorum sector. "This one contains what I believe is an energy source, unlike anything we've seen." The room grew silent. General Hayes leaned forward. "How confident are you?" Moderately, Anil admitted. "We don't fully understand it yet, but its power signature is immense. If we could harness it, it could tip the scales in our favor." Jonas exchanged a glance with Myra. "So, we go after it." "Not without preparation," Hayes warned. "The Empire will guard it fiercely." Ober. The next weeks, the Resistance intensified reconnaissance. Stealth probes were sent to gather intel, and the team refined their understanding of the alien technology protecting the facility. Mira volunteered to lead the strike team. Her knowledge of both human and alien tech making her the ideal candidate. The day of the mission arrived. As the Phoenix and its squadron approached the facility, a fortress of energy shields and defense drones loomed before them. "Stay sharp," Jonas said, his voice calm but tense. "We're not just attacking a station, we're taking on the heart of their power." The battle was fierce. The alien defenses were unlike anything they had faced before, adaptive and relentless. Missiles zipped through space, shields flared, and the hum of energy weapons filled the void. Mira's ship dodged a concentrated blast, her hands steady on the controls. "We're hitting the shield generator," she reported. "Cover me." The squadron formed a protective ring, blasting at the generator with everything they had. Sparks and fragments erupted as the shields flickered and faltered. With the barrier down, Myra piloted Phoenix through the breach and into the facility's core. Inside, the alien architecture was both alien and eerily beautiful: walls of shimmering crystal, corridors pulsing with light. They located the energy source, a glowing orb suspended in a containment field, radiating power that hummed through. The ship's system's Annel's voice crackled over the comms. "You need to secure that orb. It's our best chance to turn the tide." As Mira secured the device, alarms blared. The Empire's reinforcements were en route. "Time to go," Jonas ordered. The squadron fought their way back through the crumbling defenses, narrowly escaping. As the facility self-destructed behind them. Back at base, the energy orb was studied intensely. It pulsed with a power that could revolutionize their technology-energy weapons. Shields, even propulsion could be enhanced. But the victory was bittersweet. They had lost skilled pilots and suffered heavy damage to their fleet. General Hayes addressed the resistance leaders. This mission proved humanity's strength, but it also reminded us of the cost. We must press on, united and vigilant. Mira stood among her comrades, the orb's light reflecting in her eyes. They had uncovered a secret one that could help reclaim every star under alien control. But the Empire was not finished. Their hold was tightening, and the galaxy's darkest battles were still ahead. Yet hope burned brighter now. Humanity was no longer just surviving, they were fighting to win. The energy orb's glow illuminated the dim corridors of the rebel base, a symbol of hope and a testament to human ingenuity. Scientists and engineers worked tirelessly, integrating its power into the designs of new ships and weapons. The Resistance was no longer just a scattered group of survivors. They were becoming a true fighting force. Myra walked through the sprawling hangar, watching as engineers fitted sleek fighters with newly developed energy shields and propulsion systems. The hum of machinery and the smell of hot metal filled the air. A stark contrast to the silence of defeat that once hung over them. General Marcus Hayes joined her, nodding at the progress. "This is what we need, a fleet that can match the Empire's strength." Jonas Reed approached, fresh from a training exercise. "We're pushing the boundaries of what's possible. These ships fly faster, hit harder, and survive longer. But we still need skilled pilots." Recruitment drives spread across the colonies, calling on everyone willing to fight for humanity's future. Former civilians became soldiers. Engineers became tacticians. The lines blurred as the common goal united them all. Tension simmered beneath the surface, though old rivalries between factions threatened unity. And some questioned whether the new technology was ready for battle. In a briefing room, General Hayes addressed the concerns. "We can't afford divisions. Our strength lies in our unity and our willingness to adapt." Myra nodded. "We've come too far to let old grudges stand in the way." Training intensified. Mira took charge of pilot instruction, pushing recruits. Hard, but fair. She believed in their potential because she had seen humanity's resilience firsthand. During a test flight, Mira pushed her Phoenix prototype to the limits. The ship responded flawlessly, weaving through asteroid fields and dodging simulated enemy fire. Her confidence grew with every maneuver. As she landed, the hangar erupted in applause. The new fleet was ready. The Resistance's leaders planned their next move carefully. Intelligence reports revealed that the alien empire was reinforcing key systems along the outer rim, anticipating future attacks. "We strike there," Jonas declared. "Hit their supply bases hard, slow their advance." A massive convoy was identified near the Glees. System vital for transporting troops and resources deeper into human-held space. The fleet assembled, gleaming with new weapons and shields. Pilots suited up, nerves mingling with determination. "General," Hayes addressed the assembled crew, "this mission will test everything we've built. But remember, we fight for every fallen city, every lost family, and every star waiting to be reclaimed." The fleet launched into the void, engines roaring. A thunderous statement against the Empire's tyranny. Myra glanced at the stars ahead. The weight of responsibility heavy on her shoulders, but her spirit unbreakable. "Let's show them what humanity is made of," she whispered. As the fleet neared the Glee system, enemy patrols appeared on the sensors alerts blaring across the command decks. The battle for the Outer Rim was about to begin. The Glee system was cloaked in darkness, its cold moons casting long shadows across the battlefield. The newly forged human fleet sliced through the void, a glittering spear aimed at the heart of the alien supply chain. For the first time in months, humanity's fighters felt more than hope, they felt the weight of imminent victory. Mira Chen gripped the controls of her Phoenix fighter as alarms blared throughout the fleet. Sensors detected multiple alien warships emerging from the asteroid belt's reinforcements sent to defend their precious convoy. Jonas Reed's voice crackled over the comms, steady and commanding. All pilots, prepare for engagement. Remember? You're training. Keep formation, protect the cargo ships, and hit hard where it counts. The enemy ships surged forward with frightening speed, their sleek designs betraying a ruthless efficiency. Energy beams sliced through space, lighting the darkness with deadly precision. Myra's heart hammered in rhythm with the chaos around her. She twisted and banked her fighter, dodging a barrage of fire and returning shots with pinpoint accuracy. The enhanced shields hummed as they absorbed the alien blasts. Beside her, Jonas engaged a massive cruiser. His tactics were bold, weaving through its defenses to deliver crippling strikes to its engines. Sparks and explosions rippled across its hull, forcing it to retreat. Despite the ferocity of the alien counterattack, humanity's fleet pressed on. The hybrid technology gave them an edge, faster maneuvers, more durable armor, and energy weapons that matched the enemy's firepower. Myra spotted a squadron of smaller enemy fighters, breaking formation to flank the cargo ships. Squadron 3, cover the rear. I'm going after those interceptors. She shouted to her Phoenix, darted through the firefight, chasing down the enemy fighters with relentless determination. Each blast was a step toward reclaiming their freedom. Meanwhile, the command ship Liberty, General Hayes coordinated the battle. His eyes scanned the tactical displays, calculating every move with precision. We hold this line, he ordered. The convoy must survive. The battle raged for hours. Ships twisted and turned in deadly choreography, each strike met with an equal force. Explosions dotted the black canvas of space like distant stars as the sun began to rise over the systems. Gas giant, the tide of battle shifted. The alien forces, stretched thin and battered, began to fall back. The human fleet surged forward, driving them from the system. Jonas's voice came through the comms, triumphant but cautious. Enemy retreating. Secure the convoy and prepare. To jump to the next target, Mira exhaled, exhaustion mingling with exhilaration. They had won a decisive victory, but the war was far from over. Back on the Liberty, repairs and medical teams worked tirelessly. The cost was high, pilots lost. Ships damaged, but the spirit of the resistance burned brighter than ever. General Hayes addressed the fleet. Today, we showed the Empire that humanity will not be broken. We will reclaim every star taken from us. This victory is ours, but we must stay vigilant. Mira stood beside Jonas on the bridge, watching the stars twinkle beyond the hull. This is only the beginning, she said quietly. Jonas nodded. They'll come back stronger, but so will we. As the fleet prepared for its next mission, a new message flashed on the command screen, an encrypted transmission from deep within enemy territory. Dr. Anil Desai decoded the signal, eyes widening. It's a warning. The Empire knows we're coming. They're preparing for a final confrontation. The weight of that knowledge settled over the crew. The battle for humanity's future was accelerating, and soon, the fate of every star would be decided. The Liberty drifted quietly in orbit around a small, barren moon. For the first time in weeks, the crew had a moment to breathe. But beneath the surface calm, tension simmered like a coiled spring ready to snap. Mira Chen paced the corridors, her mind racing with a decoded message from the alien empire. The warning was clear. The invaders were mobilizing their entire fleet for a final, devastating assault. It was a call to arms, a challenge to humanity's resolve in the command center. General Marcus Hayes convened a council of the Resistance's leaders. Faces were grim, eyes shadowed with the weight of what was to come. "We knew this was inevitable," Hayes said. "The Empire will throw everything at us. Our task is to survive and fight back harder." Dr. Anil Desai stepped forward, pointing to a holographic star map. "Our intel suggests the Empire's fleet is massing near the Helios cluster, a strategic system rich in resources and defense installations." Jonas Reed's jaw tightened. "That's where we make our stand." Mira exchanged a determined glance with him. "We have the technology and the will. Now, it's about strategy and timing." Over the next days, the Resistance prepared. Engineers worked tirelessly to upgrade ships, improve shields, and optimize weapon systems. Pilots trained relentlessly, pushing their limits to ensure they were ready for the coming battle. Mira took charge of a specialized strike team, tasked with disrupting the Empire's supply lines and weakening their fleet before the main engagement. The missions would be perilous, but the stakes could not be higher. Meanwhile, the civilian population of the scattered colonies braced for the worst. Messages of encouragement and unity echoed through the communication networks, bolstering morale. Despite the looming threat, one evening, Mira found herself on the observation deck, staring out at the star-studded void. Jonas joined her silently, the weight of command etched in his features. "How do you stay hopeful?" Mira asked quietly. Jonas looked out at the distant stars. "Because we have to. Hope is the only weapon the Empire can't take from us." Conversation was interrupted by an urgent alert. Enemy scouts had been detected approaching their position. The Resistance scrambled to defensive positions, adrenaline surging through every pilot and crew member. But as the scouts drew near, something unexpected happened. Instead of attacking, the alien ships held back, scanning and retreating without engagement. Dr. Desai studied the data. "They're testing us, probing our defenses, looking for weaknesses." General Hayes used the moment to rally his forces. "They want to intimidate us. We stand firm. Our strength lies in unity and resolve." The calm was deceptive, a prelude to the storm gathering just beyond the horizon. Mira and Jonas spent hours strategizing. Aware that the coming battle would define humanity's fate, "We fight not just for survival," Jonas said, "but to reclaim every star, every piece of the universe that was taken from us." As the Resistance fleet readied for war, the stars held their breath. Humanity's final stand was about to begin. The Helios cluster blazed with the light of 1,000 suns, a cosmic battleground where the fate of humanity and the alien empire would be decided. The Resistance fleet, now battle-hardened and equipped with the power of the energy orb, hovered on the edge of the system, waiting for the signal to strike. Mira Chen sat in the cockpit of her Phoenix, heart pounding with a mixture of fear and determination. Around her, the hum of the ship's systems blended with the chatter of pilots readying for the fight. She glanced at Jonas Reed, who gave her a steady nod. "This is it," he said quietly. "For Earth, for every world lost." The signal Kima, sharp pulse that reverberated across the fleet. Engines flared, weapons charged, and the battle began. The alien empire's fleet surged forward like a wave of darkness, their massive warships casting ominous shadows against the light of distant stars. But humanity's fleet met them with unyielding force. Energy beams lanced through space, colliding in bursts of light and fury. The Phoenix darted between giant cruisers and agile fighters. Mira's hands steady despite the chaos. Her squadron targeted the enemy's flagship, a colossal vessel rumored to command the entire fleet. Taking it down could cripple the Empire's coordination. Jonas led the charge, weaving through enemy fire and striking critical systems. Explosions erupted along the flagship's hull as human pilots pressed the attack. Amid the battle, Dr. Anil Desai's innovation proved vital. The energy orb powered a new weapon system, unleashing pulses that disrupted enemy shields and disabled their weapons. The tide began to turn. The Empire's fleet faltered, unable to withstand the relentless assault. One by one, their ships exploded into fiery wreckage, their formations breaking apart. But victory came at a cost. The Resistance lost many brave souls, and the Phoenix sustained damage from a near-fatal blast. Myra's hands shook as she piloted back to the Liberty, the adrenaline fading to exhaustion. General Hayes hailed the fleet, voice steady and resolute. "Today, we struck a blow for all humanity. The Empire's grip is weakening. We will reclaim every star, every world." In the aftermath, celebrations were tempered by remembrance. Families reunited, tears mingling with laughter. The fight was far from over, but the spark of hope had become a blazing fire. Mira stood beside Jonas on the observation deck, watching the stars that once seemed so distant now within reach. "We did it," she whispered. Jonas smiled. "We're just getting started." As humanity prepared to rebuild and expand, one truth remained clear: no matter the darkness, the spirit of humanity would always shine bold, unyielding, and ready to reclaim the stars.